6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shelby's World Live taking off. Questions will be answered cause the queen get it off. Unity is for the black and brown community. Conversation without scrutiny. Hey, we speak from a place of power, no coward. We just making sure the truth isn't overpowered. Black goddess, black queen, no in between. Radio podcast to the big screen. Her smile is everything, can light up a room. She say what she means, that's why we're in tune. Grown woman handles her biz like it is. Discipline, her role model for the kids. Nothing was given, everything she earned. She sat back and learned, and now it's her turn. So stop on by, comment, subscribe. Each and every Wednesday, SW Live.
Shelby's World Podcast. Shelby's World.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Happy Wednesday, Podcast Wednesday. Ooh. Welcome back to another brand new live show. Welcome to another season, another meaning, another time, another place, y'all. We are on the another side of the American calendar. It's 2026, and we here. It's time for y'all to put up or shut up. You know what I'm saying? It's time to do your thing. It's time to be all about what you talked about. Time to put in all that action. You know, let's do it. It's your time to shine. Every day is, but you got to work. You got to do that behind the scenes work too before it can come to fruition. So, you know, let's get there. Let's get there. Well, welcome to a brand new show. I normally shut down the show anytime it runs into an American holiday or whatever. So we're back. We missed a couple of Wednesdays because of that, and I was anxious to get back because I'm always anxious to come and do a show and be, you know, go live and do my thing. So I was just like, dang, when do I go back? So I had a little break, but it was some good downtime too, though, because working, you get a couple days off and all of that, so it gives you some time to kind of like rejuvenate, reset, all that good stuff. So. But today we're talking about things we've made sound like it's a perfect fantasy when it's just a normality. Kindness and being nice to people are now things that we put on a pedestal. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why and how, and we're going to discuss some of the things that that you ask yourself and be like, why would you think that's okay? Now, why would you think that's okay? Let's talk about it. Before we jump into it, let's do that quote of the day. And that is, the key to growth is the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into our awareness. And elevation comes with several levels. It works on several terms. Elevation is just not a stagnant situation. And I think that a lot of us think that getting to a level equates to constant growth, and you still gotta keep going. You grasped it, you got here, but there is more to get to. And if you get to a place where you're stagnant and you don't see more into that, then that means that it's time to go ahead and implement something else into your life, because you never just want to get to a point where you're just sitting and still, because you see shit is changing. AI about to take over. And if y'all playing and not thinking that AI about to get real serious, y'all better start teaching yourselves and taking on some of these little free little things that they offer through Google that's teaching you about AI and all that. Y'all better get on board. AI is not about to be played with. It's about to wreck shop. And it already is. But so constantly just put yourself in a position to always be able to grow. That's what life is about. It's about constantly elevating. And we always want to do that. We do not want to be in a position to where we just like watching things happen around us and we're just comfortable with things happening and we're not being a part of the process of seeing it keep on other things coming into fruition. That's all I'm saying. We want to keep growing, constantly elevating. And that's what this is. The key to growth is the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into our awareness. The more conscious you are, the more aware, the more the sharper you are, the more you pull things in and envelop it, the more you can actually see yourself doing bigger things. That people always tell you to change your mindset, change your attitude, because that's good. It works that way. You can't, or I'm sorry, the opposite way. Change your attitude, you'll change your mindset. And I see it exactly that way. If you start to see things in a more positive manner, you'll start to get things more positive in your direction. Changing your environment can do that. Changing how you do things can do that. So you gotta start tapping into you a little bit deeper so that you can see how high and how much more charismatic your brain will elevate you, because it's all on you. When you stop the process and start just being still, it shows. It truly shows. And people can tell when you get that way. Like, I know a lot of people who get on these jobs and they be there for 30, 40 years on the job, and that's all they know. Even if you're working just on a job for a long amount of time, that don't mean that that's all you're supposed to be enveloping and learning and teaching yourself. You still supposed to be trying to access greater. And that's why you got to tap more into you. Digging into you is going to always be the best benefit that you can come by. You have to dig and dig deeper into you too. Like, you got a level of consciousness that you probably not even aware of, because you're stagnating yourself. You're putting yourself in a area of, well, this is what I want to do, but doesn't mean that that's all you have to do. Every business has equitable properties attached to it, not just the part where you go in and you cash out every day, but the equitable things that come along with having your business, the things that you can benefit from it, the trainings, the courses you could teach your staff, all the different things that's equitable growth. That's constantly seeing things gain grace and knowledge, and you're able to do that. That's what tapping deeper into yourself brings you. And that's why the quote that's why I feel like the quote resonates with people about awareness, because these things and techniques, there are things and techniques and people who are here to misguide you, misdirect you, or just interfere with you on your journey anyway. And how they come at you with the strategies, you just got to be aware. So if you're not up on game and you're not up on all the shit that's changing, then you're going to be left behind, and you're going to be pulled into that process of people running game on you, things happening to you. You ain't going to be able to, you're not sharp enough anymore. We're not in elementary school game no more. The processes are changing daily. You got to get caught up with it. So that's why tapping deeper into you is going to do that. So don't think that you've got to a level of this is all I can learn. That sounds like you trying to say that it's unattainable for you, and that's just not it, because it's way more to learn. It's way more to do. It's way more to grasp, and you should always feel like you're worth it. You should definitely always feel like you're worth it. In the business that you're going into, you should always make it feel like you should always feel like investing in yourself, learning more is worth it for you. So the key to growth is the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into our awareness. Tap in. All right. So for today's show, why would you think that's okay? Let's talk about it. I'm gonna start from the bottom and come up a little bit, and instead of just jumping right in at the top, because the top one kind of it's deeper, but I want to get to that one. So for today's show, why would you think that is okay? Why are we allowing people to make our moments into a we moment? That's the big topic. So leave that, think about that one. Just let that sit in your spirit. Let it sizzle a little bit, But one thing I want to say is self-sabotaging. We're going to start with the self-sabotaging. Why would you think that's okay? Self-sabotaging behavior can often seem illogical. However, many of those behaviors are a result of unresolved emotional hurt. If this resonates with you, a counselor can assist in processing what is happening. It's important to be careful, though, because astringent sabotaging can negatively affect your life in long term. And we have seen people literally self-sabotage. People like this. People that have had, they got it. They got people who are willing to invest in them. They got people that are willing to do things for them, and they literally throw it away. It's like they saying goodbye to it. I'd rather just do it this way because I don't want to do that. 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 Self-sabotage. And then next thing you know, they begging for help, or they need this, or they need that. And they had it all right there. Sometimes the plan is bigger than you. You just not the program yourself. It's a program. And you're not bigger than the program. If a family has a history, and nobody's saying that you got to go in and not focus on your goals and your dreams, but if a family ran business is what got you motherfucking eating every day, take the time out to learn the family business. Because even if that's not where you walk into and that's your career path, that doesn't mean that at some point you may have to come in and take over the business. Or you may have to come in because your people get ill and sick, and you may have to come in and know what's happening with the business so you can bring somebody else in to handle the business. But you got to be aware of what's happening. Being aware. And if you don't know the things that are set up for you, then that means, and especially when somebody's trying to teach it to you, you're purposely not learning it. You're purposely saying that I don't want to know that. I'm good. Self-sabotage. Why would you want to be the crutch in the thing that says I'm gonna break this family? Something that's been happening good for generations and generations, and now you want to come in and be the one that say, boom, I'm gonna stop this from happening. No. That happens all the time. You always gonna find a person that's a part of the family, know the stuff that's happening in the family, know the history, know what y'all building upon, know all that stuff, and still just say, you know what? I'm just gonna make myself the black sheep. They don't even be the black sheep. Just make themselves the damn black sheep. It's self-sabotage. What's up, Jay? What's up, Side? It's self-sabotage, and we cannot feel like that's a beneficial thing to us. It's not. It's not a beneficial concept, and we have to not think that that's something that should be happening. So, no, okay. The statement of "it's just a phase." Why would you think that? It's just a phase. Now, why would you think that? The whole term, the statement "is just a phase" right there lets you know there's something a little deeper than that. It's just a phase. Many believe that it's normal for children to misbehave by running away, fighting, disobeying. While this may be a natural part of growing up, it also may be a sign of emotional stress and should be met with concern. Just don't dismiss these behaviors as "it's just a phase." It's just a phase. People have dismissed the behaviors. Now their kids in high school, middle school, they causing all the issues in the world. They throwing tantrums. They hurting people because you thought it was just a phase when they was 7, when they was in there tearing up the whole goddamn room, ripping shit apart, and all you did was put them in timeout or beat them and just said, "Don't do it again." But it happened several times. You thought it was just a phase. And now you put this person into the world with everybody else that's not okay with dealing with your "it's just a phase" mentality. And now you putting your son and your daughter out here to deal with regular humans that was raised with some manners, and your kid in here tearing up everything because you said it's just a phase. Pay attention. It's certain behaviors that are not just a phase. Certain things kids do grow from, but discipline also does that. Showing a person a different way also does that. I know back in the day they used to take kids on jail visits to let them know and show them that what your phases and your tantrums and these things can lead to. Yeah, that's what they did. They wanted to be sure that you were aware that these actions that you do on a daily basis with your parents can cause you to go to prison. They showed you that. That's what them jail tours was for. That's what those jail tours was for. So y'all might need to waken that back up, because there's just a lot of things just happening that's out of control, and y'all calling it a phase. And then y'all be ready to go stand up there and stand for ignorance with your child. And they wrong, and now you wrong too. It's not just a phase, bro. It's not just a phase. Okay. All right. So many of us have grown accustomed to believing and accepting the bare minimum of kindness. Being kind and nice is a normal moral thing to do. People being nice shouldn't be placed on a pedestal. If the point that the whole point that we've gotten to of us saying nice and kind should be placed on a pedestal is absolutely preposterous. A person speaking, a person holding the door, all of those things deserve thank yous. But why wouldn't it be normal behavior? Why should we be running up bragging because somebody did those things? Who raising y'all now? Who is anybody even doing that anymore? Because it's questionable, because now we're saying that to the point where accepting the bare minimum of kindness has now allowed you to, when you're in relationships with people now, them doing the bare minimum in a relationship by just showing up, not being a support system, not being a partner, not being a full-fledged benefit to the relationship, but just showing up is now accepted as like that's pedestal material now. And I'm confused in a mug about that, because what we can't even, we're not even comfortable, and I see it more so with a lot of women more these days. We already, because before, back in the day, and I'm gonna say this right here because I'm so sick of this, I'm sick of this conversation even coming up. What are we talking about when we say a 50-50 relationship? What are we talking about when we say that? Because number one, you might wake up one day and you might feel 30%, 25% at the most, but you might give yourself 30 just because you want to be equal and you don't want to feel like you draining somebody. But you really might be 20%. And your partner might have to step in and be 80%. Does that mean that the man giving more into the relationship? Or is that day that man doing what he's supposed to do? Because another day, the man might be sick and the wife got to be a whole 90% because he can't even get out of bed because he's sick. Like, what are we talking about now? I don't know who raised y'all, bro. That's why I don't care. A lot of these people who be having these conversations be coming from 2-parent homes too. I'm like, who the fuck raised y'all, bro? Like, the things y'all say and be thinking that it's making a lot of sense. That's why this bare minimum crap has gotten to a level of exclusivity, because y'all have made it so easy to just say a person doing kind things. A person doing kind things deserves a pedestal. That's what we are now. That's where we are. That's scary as hell, because y'all raising children now. Remember that we raising people. We raising people that got to survive in this world, and we pushing them into a world of bullshit because we just saying, okay, let's just teach them to do it this way because the world doing it that way. No, make your child be different from the world. Put them on to something that's real. 50-50 conversations are crazy. We have zero critical thinkers. Listen. I don't know. I don't know. And these conversations are mostly being had with people that are 40 fucking years old, bro. That means y'all done lived 30 whole years and y'all still dumb. You still dumb. And I'm mad about it. This conversation actually makes me mad. When I see it, I be upset. Because I'm like, really? Are we really this stupid? Are we really this gullible? Are we really just this fixated on what? Are we really just this fixated on getting a like that we'll just say anything? What are 50-50 conversations even about? When people say that, I know they talking about money. I know they talking about money. That's a broke nigga mind. That's a broke person mindset. And even if a woman bringing that up, that's a broke woman mindset. You couldn't tell? That conversation made me mad, bro. I can't even believe people still talking about that. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. And I be seeing podcasts talking about it. I skip right through your shit. I don't want to even follow you, talk to you, have any interaction with a broke person mindset. Because a broke person mindset ain't got nothing to do with real finances. You just scum to me. Because you'll see, you're the type of person who will see a family sitting on the corner, and nobody ain't said your fault for them being there. But you'll see a family sitting on the corner, and you can see kids with the people. That's because that's what you gonna pull at my heart with kids. I don't give a damn. You know, you just gonna pull at my heart if I see some kids sitting out there hungry. But a walk right past them and go to the club and buy a bottle for $300. Bullshit. Broke nigga mindset. Let's skip. Next thing. Being strong. Why you think that it's okay to just walk around thinking it's okay to be strong? Who told you that? Who told you that was even okay? Who told you that being strong is something we supposed to be like bragging about? Let's drop that. Let's just drop and stop that whole narrative, okay? Why are we focused on being so strong anyway? What you getting a prize for walking around like you could take so much? What does strong even mean? Y'all know what it mean, right? I can hold a lot. So if people feel like you could take a lot, that means people want to do a lot to you. Because why you even want to walk around and act like you deserve to be saying I'm strong? What about that says, let's say that. Let's just say I'm strong. What? Sit down. When people feel like that you could take a lot, that means that you will allow more to happen to you because you're building that strong mentality narrative. You're pushing that on yourself. And that's why I don't be saying that. I'm gonna cry if I'm weak, if I'm feeling sad, and I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna let my tears out. Ain't nobody got to see me cry, but I'm gonna cry. And I'm gonna move on. But I'm not finna stand up here and act like I'm not supposed to cry and just be like and suck my tears up. No. Rain down. Come out. I need to get that out of me. I don't know what y'all be doing, man. Who you trying to be strong for? What's the point? What you trying to prove? What you trying to prove? Let's just change that narrative because people are just using you up in ways that they can't that they can't even suffice, and that's not fair. So when people come to you and be thinking that you're that strong friend all the time and that you're this right here, it's because they don't want to deal with their own shit themselves. So they want to come and drop that load on you. And I don't want your load, bro. I got laundry of my own to do. I don't want your load. So if you can't come to me, when you come to me with a problem, because that's the type of person I am. That's why I don't really go to people with problems. If you come to me with a problem, I want to at least know that you're thinking about a solution. Because if you're just coming to me to drop a load on me, I don't want your load, bro. I'm telling you, you can't just free your conscience on me like that no more. That stuff becomes very, very heavy. That stuff sit on your brain and in your energy and starts to now you doing what? Self-sabotaging. The first step of the conversation today. Now you self-sabotaging because you allow people to give you more heavy than you even have for yourself. No, chill with that. Back up. Don't come to me with it. We friends. And as a friend, you should respect the fact that you know how I am as a friend. So I want to help. I want to help. This girl said, preach my baby. Oh, goodness. I want to help you as your friend, first and foremost. I definitely want to do that because I'm that type of girl. I'm telling you, I'm rah, motivate, encourage. I'm on your ass about it. I never want to see you struggle, fall down, and not get up. But I also want you to care just as much about you as I care about you. So that means that if there's a problem, you need to be thinking of solutions. if there's a problem, baby, you got to be thinking of solutions, because guess who life it is? Regardless of how much I love and care about you, it's still your life. It's still yours, and it's yours to live. So wherever the fall down is, you're going to be doing that fall down if you don't be trying to find the solutions and the help to get up. Now, but we can brainstorm together and all of that, but I do want you to be thinking about solutions, because that is the type of friend that I am. We're going to figure it out, but you definitely got to be wanting to figure it out. That 50-50 thing had done hit me a little bit. All right. So this is my biggest spiel for the day. And I'm gonna let y'all get out of here after that. But I wanted to bring this up because this has happened on several occasions, and it has ruined a lot of celebratory moments for people. It has allowed people to not even want to celebrate that day no more, just because of these things happening. And I truly think that, and I've seen, I've seen one thing where this man, I guess he had been waiting to propose to his wife, and bro, he did it after a funeral when they all had went out to eat. So, okay, back to the conversation. It's not to say that you're not thankful for support. It's not to say that you don't feel like that the person means you any good. It's not to say any of that. But a lot of times people make decisions that where they're really more so thinking about how they feel about it versus how they think you feel about it. So if you're not being put in the mind when they're putting together the plan to come and do something that they feel like it's going to benefit you, then they're not thinking about you. Because why would you propose to me on my day of my graduation? Why would you propose to me on the day that I'm getting my doctor? Why would you propose to me when I get my PhD? Well, that's the same thing. Sorry. Why would you propose to me if I have just been celebrated 30 years on, 20 years at my job or something, and I'm the youngest person who did that? That's my moment. Why would you take that to be the day to say that I'm going to make this our special day? I want this to be a memorable day for us, because now, if for one, and I hate to look at it in that negative connotation, but this is something that happens because a lot of proposals don't even make it to the marriage. But now you got this person that got to remember that day. Not only is the day that you propose, but it's going to also it's going to also be on the day that they had their special moment, and you just ruined it because you decided that out of all 365 days, on the 364th day that I'm being celebrated, that's the only day that you could find the day to fucking propose to me. Is it any more about the proposal at that moment then? Is it about the proposal, or is it about you taking away my moment? That's and again, yes, people are going to always appreciate you being, because more than likely they're going to stand up there and dedicate a lot of it to you, especially if you're a supportive partner. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank my partner, my family, all the people who were there supporting me along this journey. It's a process. It was a process. It was a process. It was a process. And I know I might have been difficult on days of these processes. So that person earned that moment. They earned that moment. That was their moment. And you decided that was the day that you wanted to propose to them? What are we doing? I keep saying, like, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like either we're not teaching the people, or we're not just either taking in concepts that we were taught, and we're not even saying the stuff that we learned growing up matters anymore. We're not even saying that. Like, y'all done threw all that out the window, how to be gentleman, how to be womanly, how to have etiquette, how to be proper. Like, it's a lot of things that y'all done tossed out the damn window. And it's falling into the hands of the youth. And not everybody just doing it. But I will say this though, the youth not afraid to get married. I don't think that's the end all for everything, but they ain't scared no more. These kids back get married young, how our grandparents did back in the day. They understanding what love is early, before these yeah, I don't know. Some of them are looking for a good partner and settling down, and then some of them, they doing their thing and being young. Cool. I could apply both areas, because you move how you supposed to move. But after a certain age, you got to start doing things on a more mature level. And your age is going to start showing just how mature you are and how immature you are. She said fast and divorce fast, or it's poly. And I've been seeing a lot of that poly stuff. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that. However people want to live their house. One thing about it, I ain't looking in your window, Bookie. I don't care. How you live your life is how you live your life. Whatever makes you and your person happy. I say go for it, whatever it is. But learn how to keep it inside the house. That y'all talk too much. Y'all want to tell the world. That's why everybody be knowing what's happening with all these different relationships, because y'all don't know how to keep it cool and copacetic. None of you do. Not especially these older people. Now everybody want to go live and show what's happening in their everyday life just to get likes and views, but it's not positive stuff that they're giving, that they're showing. You sitting on there, you talking about people, they gossiping, they watching stuff that's messy, the kids watching it with them. It's just a lot of stuff. And if that's the stuff that we're going to keep doing, that's why it's going to continue to have these things where the relationships are you in constant relationships where you're not actually growing. You doing the same stuff over and over in each relationship. You're not learning anything. They watching their parents too. But I'm that proposing to You're just saying why they doing it. Oh yeah. I don't know. But Brie, I don't really know why they doing it. Are they I just thought, I was like, are the kids learning love early, or are they just so contingent on having another person? Because I haven't really, because most of the ones that's like doing it and talking about it like that, they're trying to be the YouTube sensations, the next big couple. Hey Queen, happy Wednesday. They're trying to be the next big, social media stars and stuff. That's why I was wondering, is that a lot of the reason why they're doing a lot of this stuff, because it's popular or whatever? Because a lot of them are getting married young and they are divorcing early, but then you got a lot of them that the poly relationship's huge, but then you got a lot of them that are actually staying married. They young, they 5 years in to these marriages and stuff, when they're only 21 and 25 when they get married. And then next thing you know, they 30 something and they've been in relationship and they marriage longer than some people been in relationships. So I was like, dang, so this is a real big thing in the younger community now. They are getting married. I don't know. To me, getting the youngness is cute too, because it's cute. But it's I think you get to learn your partner, y'all growing together. So it does make a lot of sense why they would want to do it, because you learning your person, you loving your person, you learning a different part of your person every other couple of years, every year for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're with somebody who's a person who's growing and they want something, they changing annually, they growing annually. So, but yeah. I do want to jump back into that though. I do want to say that if you are in doing something and your person is celebrating a special moment or whatever, and you celebrate a special moment, don't allow that moment to be broken by somebody thinking it's okay. And this is for, I guess this conversation is mostly directed to the males. Do not think it's okay to propose to that woman on her big day. Do not do that. It's just not cool. All other countries get married. That's a Western thing. We learn to wait to, yeah, that I don't believe in waiting till you're 30 now. I don't think that's cool. But I do think that the other countries have definitely been doing that, and they be married for a long time. That's absolutely true. They don't play about it. They gotta, you already know half of them you know, some you gotta separate it up, Pete. You gotta separate it. I think that's wrong if you don't do that. But a lot of the other countries, you know, it's a lot of places that actually have people playing for their people. So they be married. Those marriages are already pre-planned situations for them, some of them. But then in other areas, they just fall in love young because they've been around these people since they were in middle school, high school, and then there's somebody just been around dating. So it just happens. So getting married young isn't a bad thing. It's not an issue with you growing together. But it is a lot of young relationships that because they don't know relationships, they'll do it, and then next thing you know, every time they get into something with their partner, they talking about divorce and all of that. See, and those are not conversations we got to be having like that. And be 100% serious. Correct. Yeah, Peach with the I'm telling you though, Peach, it's like I don't know why I don't know why. And I think I came up with this think piece probably about, oh yes, when I saw what's her name? Oh, it's been a while ago. I saw it on TikTok, y'all. I saw, when they played a snippet of Young Thug proposing to that girl. Oh my God. My heart just dropped into the bottom of my feet and said, well, and scrolled up. Because I just knew that had to be a prank. I just knew that had to be a prank. I just knew that had to be a prank. It ain't no prank. It's not. Is it real? It was a prank. It had to be a prank. The key to growth is the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into our awareness. If you decide that you think that you've learned enough, you've already slowed your life down by 40%. There's always going to be more and more to grasp. There's always going to be more to learn. There's always going to be reasons to elevate, and there's always going to be reasons to want to see more. Just like the inside of your house is only the inside of that space, and what you see in there is what you see in there. When you step outside, and what you see out there is what you see out there. When you step outside the city, what you see out there is what you see out there. When you step outside of the state, what you see becomes bigger. Every place you go is a bigger environment. It's a bigger way to grow, benefit from it. It's more to see. It's more to learn. It's more to grasp. And it's all on you. If you decide that you're going to limit yourself to what you know, why would you think that's okay? Thank y'all for tuning in. I will see y'all next Wednesday. We back, baby. Just wanted to say that again. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of y'all evening. A wise man once said, listen to me. Sometimes you don't know everything. There's still more to learn. Bingo. Thank y'all for tuning in, baby. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shelby's World Live taking off. Questions will be answered because the queen get it off. Unity is for the black and brown community. Conversation without scrutiny. Hey, we speak from a place of power, no coward. We just making sure the truth isn't overpowered. Black goddess, black queen, no in between. Radio podcast to the big screen. Her smile is everything, can light up a room. She say what she means, that's why we're in tune. Grown woman handles her biz like it is. Discipline, a role model for the kids. Nothing was given, everything she earned. She sat back and learned, and now it's her turn. So stop on by, comment, subscribe. Each and every Wednesday, SW Live.
W's World Podcast.